No, 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 no. Sorry, wrong music. It only took me 7 months to make a video.
Nathan's gay. Nathan's big gay boy. No one likes him. Nathan's gay boy.
So right now I'm going to be reviewing Dot Hack Infection. There are actually 4 games in this series, and that is Infection, Outbreak, Mutation, and Quarantine. Back in the day when I bought them, they were $50 a piece. God forbid you want to buy any of the games today because they range anywhere from $50 to $150 for Quarantine. So you're spending roughly $350 for the entire set of games if you buy them off eBay. And that's a bit too much money for me. What I think they should have done is separate it into 2 games. Maybe just keep it as 1 game and then have 4 different discs that you could play off of, like lots of RPGs did back in the day. But nope, that's not what Namco decided to go with. They decided to go with releasing 4 different games, and 3 of them were released in 2002, so it makes no sense to me. Ah well, let's get on, and I'll stop ranting a little bit, and we'll get on with the intro. Wait, I've already done the intro? Let's do it again, whatever.
Nathan's gay. Nathan's big gay boy. No one likes him. Nathan's gay boy.
All of the Dot Hack games take place in the virtual world of the world. It is supposed to replicate being in an MMORPG, which of course means that you don't get to make your character at all. You don't get to start out building your own character and choosing a class. Nope. You get stuck with a character named Kite, who is a twin blade. As a twin blade, you are able to hit stuff. Sure, you can get a little bit of magic here and there, but mainly you just hit stuff. So, how as a twin blade do you cast spells, do certain skills, heal yourself, anything like that within the game? Well, you do like you do in any MMORPG. You get some friends. Like any good MMO, you have a merry band of characters willing to help you at any point within the game. I'm going to quickly go through which helpful characters are within this game. Orca was mentioned in the anime and actually is one of Kite's friends in real life. Unfortunately, he was unable to be summoned into battle at all during the game because he met a terrible fate at the beginning of the game. Black Rose reminds me a lot of Mimiru from the Dot Hack sign. She's a heavy blade, so she hits things really hard and doesn't do much healing during battle. She is handy to have around though, as Kite doesn't do a ton of damage with his twin blades, so she can make up for some of that lost damage. Mistral is a Wave Master, which are the basic mage class of the game. Being a Wave Master, she can do a ton of damage with her spells as well as heal for quite a bit. Honestly, if you aren't too worried about damage, Mistral is a good person to have around. Mia is a Blade Master, which is completely different from the Heavy Blade because, shut up she is, and she obviously has hacked her account within the game to give herself the appearance of a Mithra from Final Fantasy XI. Elk is another Wave Master, so the same traits apply to him that do to Mistral. However, Elk seems to have an odd relationship with Mia. It does seem that he has a crush on her. Pyros is a Heavy Axeman. Heavy Axemen in the game are kind of the AoE powerhouse characters. I would suggest you take him around if you don't want Black Rose to come along. Natsume is another twin blade, so the same traits that apply to Kite apply to Natsume. She also knows Kite in real life. There are times when you have to have her in the party, but mostly I just like to keep one twin blade in the party at a time, which is why I think you should be able to make your own damned character in the game. Gardenia is a long arm. Now basically they use giant sticks to hit enemies. I actually have always liked long arms, so I would definitely suggest using Gardenia if you want a solid damage dealer in the game. Lastly, we have Sanjuro. Sanjuro is a heavy blade. He has a lot more of a samurai look going on, but the same basic traits apply to him as all the other damage dealers. They are nice to have, but you should only have one extra damage dealer in your party at a time other than Kite. So that's another point in this game, is that the parties are only 3 characters big. So you always have to choose a damage dealer, a magic user / healer, and then Kite every single time. If you were able to make your own character, you could choose a healing class or a magic class so that you could vary the parties a little bit. But unfortunately, because you're stuck with a twin blade every single time, you have to base your parties around that. You always have to say, okay, I need to bring in this specific character because they heal the best. Or I need to bring in this specific character because they can deal more damage than my character can. And that really limits who you're gonna use every time you go out and party. The combat system in .hack is a bit off. When you look at it, it appears like it would be a hack and slash kind of like God of War. However, it is actually similar to MMORPGs. It is somewhat turn-based, where a character will have certain timers for different abilities, but there are 0 invincibility frames. So, if your character happens to be in the middle of an ability, you will still be able to get hurt by the enemies. This has caused me to die quite a few times. Your minions will accompany you to whichever zone you go into. You can either give them specific orders, or you can let them act on their own. They can do fine sometimes, but mainly you will want to be telling them exactly what to do. See, your AI helpers are a bit fucking retarded. The healer won't know when to heal or to use revive when a party member goes down. That's where you come in. You tell them to use healing spells, use skills, etc. Taking a bit of control away from the mentally damaged AI is literally the only way to beat this game. Now that I've covered the combat, the characters, and a little brief description of what each class can do, let's move on to the story in the game. So, take it over, voiceover. The game starts with Kite joining his friend Orca on an adventure. Kite is a new player, so Orca is there trying to mentor him. Aura ends up showing up. Directly after she shows up, Orca and Kite are attacked by a monster which Orca cannot kill. Orca ends up getting knocked out and into a coma in real life. At this point, Aura gives Kite the Book of the Twilight, which Kite is able to use to weaken and defeat the monster. It is actually a really simple plot. You're a character thrust into this situation, and you're trying to find out what happened to your friend and also trying to figure out what is happening to the world. Kite meets up with Black Rose and the other characters along the way who are willing to help Kite on his mission. Eventually, they are able to locate Skaith, who is also from the anime, and Kite along with his friends are able to use Data Drain on Skaith and defeat him. After Skaith is defeated, he ends up digivolving into Cubia, where Kite escapes for his life. So here's the problem with the game, and I've already covered it a little bit. The game should be one game. It shouldn't be 4 different games. It should be one game with multiple discs. And unfortunately they didn't go that route, because right now what happens is you're left with a cliffhanger. Skaith turns into Cubia. Cubia leaves, and then you have to go and either not play the next game, or you'll end up going and buying the next game for another $50 to $150. Each game after or before quarantine ends like this. So you have Infection ending on a cliffhanger, Mutation and Outbreak both leave on cliffhangers as well, that you have to solve in the next portion of the game, which would have been beneficial if they would have made a multi-disc game. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, and they just wanted to gouge people for money, which unfortunately they did for me. I bought every single game and I beat them. And that's another thing, is that I beat these games over a decade ago, and I don't know if I can bring myself to play through the games again. I was planning on doing a review of all of the games and going through each one, but I don't know if there's enough story substance to make videos unless I do all 3 of the rest of the games, at one point, and it took me 7 months to make this video, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. I am looking forward to .hack.geu. I will probably cover that when it gets re-released as I said, one game, which would be way better. But unfortunately, that's not this series. That is a different series of games. That were 3 games released as well. What I want you to do in the comment section down below is tell me, would you want me to do another video or 3 on the .hack series? Hell, maybe if this video gets enough views, I'll just do it on my own. But I would really like to know. In the interim, I am going to leave and I'm going to look at some games my good friend Earl has told me to go review. So I'm going to do those reviews, hopefully with less time than 7 months going by. And I will be back. Of course, make sure to press the subscribe button, comment down below, and put the little thumbs up button. Don't put the thumbs down, that's mean. You don't want to be mean to me. Put the thumbs up button, and you'll see more videos from me in the future, whether it's a video like this, or if it's my podcast videos or random update videos. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to talking to you guys really, really soon.